We are a week and a half away from the official release of Prismatic Evolutions, and things are really starting to get unhinged right now. I'm starting to get really concerned. Before I was more optimistic, but after seeing some more of this information, it's starting to get me a little down. And we're going to jump straight into everything. We also have some people opening the product already. I'll show you guys that. We're going to have TCG prices, eBay prices, and a news article about local game stores having a hard time getting the product, and we'll dive a little bit more into that as well. But something that just happened recently is on TCG Player, everything is, not everything, most of the products are shooting up a lot. We have the surprise box at $100 now, and this is where it's starting to scare me. It's up 67%. It just shot up like instantly. I mean, and all the last solds are $100 just for the surprise box. This is supposed to be nowhere near one of the most desirable products from the set, right? Now, one thing to keep in mind, there is a caveat to TCG Player that I do think people need to understand right now. The only people that are allowed to sell and list on TCG Player before release is actual brick and mortar stores. You have to have an actual physical brick and mortar location. They're the only ones allowed to sell. Once the official release date hits, all the online sellers can list on there as well. So that's why there is a limited amount of quantity for some of these products available, but that is something to consider. But people are buying them at these prices. You can see the most sales were right here at 70, but we had a lot of sales at 100. Okay, and it gets worse with some of the other product, and that's why I was more optimistic before. But I think maybe we underestimated just how big this is. And across the Pokemon space, you have literally everything going up insane amounts, it seems like. And this is the catalyst that I think, unfortunately, is going to just shoot that rocket ship straight up. But these are booster bundles. Look at the booster bundles, 46% up. We're at $88 for booster bundles on TCG Player, and the chart looks just ridiculous. Pre-release prices obviously usually really high. Went from 60, shot up to 70, came back down to 68 just for a minute, and now we are at $87. Also, I'll talk about how to best approach this towards the end of the video. I'll talk how to get the product, what I think the best approach is. So stay tuned for the end. We're just going to talk about the products right now. But once they sell a few more, I mean, these sellers do have 23 quantity, 27, 12. After those, we're to $100 for a booster bundle. Okay, so this is where like I said, honestly, full transparency, I start to get a little bit down. It's bringing me down a little. Okay, so that has me a little sad, a little scared, less optimistic and less excited seeing this. So because also what we're already seeing, the unfortunate reality of the situation is that people who aren't even into this, people who just want to make money, mainly scalpers, I know that's a thing that everybody hates for the most part, they're going to be into this now, and because there's a quick, easy money to be made. And that's the real thing, because once people who don't even know or care about this stuff, once a ton of people start getting in, it starts making it horrible. Even this is the accessory pouch, right? You have 5 packs and just a little Eevee pouch. Literally just shot straight up with the most sales right here. We're at $74 because people will pay, they want those 5 packs, right? It's just absolutely insane. And, after a few more sales, once again, we're at $100 for 5 packs. That's going to be towards $20 a pack. Now, some of this will get better, right? When the other sellers can list on TCG. The eBay prices are not to this extent. We're going to touch on a few. But what we are seeing at a high rate, it happens everywhere, it's cancellations. Pre-orders being canceled because these, just so if you're not aware, they don't have the product. They don't have the product right now. It's not out. So it's a pre-order, right? So they can cancel that at any time and just relist at a higher price, right? And unfortunately, there's not really a consequence on eBay, and definitely not when they have their own website if you're ordering from a different store. So that is the combination of, you got the scalpers and the cancellations, and that really is what irks me and starts to get me a little down on the situation. I'm gonna bring some optimism towards the end, I promise. But right now, I gotta kind of get this off my chest. Then um, we have some crazy sales for the Pokemon Center ETB. We've covered this recently, but most recent sale before all in the threes and like call these 400 sales for the sake of the argument. We just saw a 500 sale. And you guys want to know how many are listed left? One seller. One seller, two boxes, $700. Now, the wildest thing about this is these might sell. These might sell. With the PC ETBs, and I heard it a lot in the comments, right? How are brick and mortars? Why can brick and mortars buy this? Is this available at retail? No, product is not available at retail. It is only available through their direct website, the Pokemon Center website. Brick and mortar stores buy them, and right now they're the only ones allowed to list them. However you view that, they have the market cornered. This seller right here, they're the only ones that have them, right? So the price is the price, and people will pay them. I feel like I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be buying that, right? But also, there's a lot of people who do not have access to the Pokemon Center. They do not sell to everyone, okay? Different countries don't have it at all, so they have to buy on this third-party market, and they are worried that if they do not pay these prices, that they will not be able to get it. And also, some of them, I think, are just uninformed, right? So part of that last video we talked about a few days ago now, 5 days ago, 6 days ago, whatever it was, about how to secure the pre-orders. I'll say all that information again at the end to give you guys the best chance, because I think information and strategy is probably your best approach at this point moving forward. But yeah, the market price hasn't updated on this because there's not enough sales. But yeah, this is a $700 box on TCG Player. If these sell, I'll update you guys because that's wild. On the eBay side, which we've talked about, they're much lower, right? Because there's everyone can post on eBay, right? 225, 225, 450 for two. So 225 again. You got a case of 4 for 750 with about 800 with shipping. You got another one at 230. You got another case at 710. You got a sealed case for 990, 230. So this is where I would be ultra cautious of cancellations. If you're picking up here, once again, I think you should try and get some on release on the 17th. But the amount of eyeballs, the amount of everything that is going to be on this, it's going to be really hard. And that's super unfortunate. But you might as well try, right? So I think also just the amount of coverage, the amount of other content being produced around Prismatic is bringing a lot of more additional eyeballs to the situation. And it's just going to be really difficult. That's just the reality. I know I'm sounding down. Second half optimism's coming up, but a lot of these might get canceled if we continue to get closer, because they don't have the boxes, so they haven't shipped them. If these start to climb to the $300 range, a lot of these 220s, a lot of them are going to get canceled. Okay, it's just the reality. So keep an eye out. Try to on eBay. If you're going to go the eBay route, which I don't suggest, but sometimes it's the only option for people, right? Check their feedback. Check their sales. You want a seller with preferably a big name. Check their social media. Check their reviews, their feedback. Okay. I will give you an example of Forge and Fire Gaming. Right. My Surging was pre-ordered through them at 100 per box. They could have canceled. By the time it arrived to me, it was already 200. Okay. So there are good sellers who will honor the pre-order pricing. That is something that is true. It's probably few and far between, but it happens. There are good sellers that will honor that. So just try to do your due diligence. Try to message them. Okay, and that's another thing. Reach out to them. But it's rough out there. So that's a piece of ETB on the eBay side. I know we've touched on this recently, but I do think it's relevant information. The only product not really taking off, it's just a little, is the binder collection. So it's not everything on the Prismatic side. It's really not. Pre-order prices are actually down off of, they were at 95. They've come down. This is only 5 packs, by the way. This is why I think why it's not. It's only 5 packs and you get the binder. 5 packs it went down to 65 and now it's come back up to 70. And there's 204 available. So there's a lot of these available listed on TCG Player. If these were to sell out on this, then yeah, these would run. But I think this is a less desirable product. I also think, correct me if I'm wrong, this binder can't hold all the cards in the set if you're looking to master set. So it's a big set, especially with all the reverse hollows and everything. So I don't know how much of a factor that is paying off. And I haven't done the math. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I feel like with the big set, well, I know it got cut down a little bit on the English side, so maybe it would fit. I'm not really sure, but either way, it's only 5 packs. So if you're looking for packs, definitely not the better way. But you see what the little EV pouch thing's doing with 5 packs. So yeah, it's wild. Not every product though. So yeah, in the last month, see if it shows positive. No, it doesn't show positive yet. It would be from this point, so it would be a while before we see that. Yeah, and it'll also be interesting on TCG once we see that influx of everyone else selling. In theory, on all of the products, you would see a downtick because the PC ETBs and regular ETBs, people will have a lot of those, and the price should come down in theory. To how much we don't know, because people they want to undercut. They go, "Oh, it's hot right now. It's hot," and they'll come in and undercut, race to the bottom. Essentially, is usually what happens. And there's not a lot of solidarity between thousands of sellers, right? So hard to coordinate that kind of thing. So there is a silver lining to be had there, at least on the TCG Player side. But then this is the other thing that just got me a little down. The regular ETBs. Check out the regular ETBs. We're up 35% off of this high of 107. Came back down to 84. Looks like 100 or sub 100 for an ETB is the go-to price. We shot up recently. A lot of sales right here at 127. 448 items sold. We're at 145 bucks. Now with this one, there's still a lot listed. It's gonna take a while. Once we burn through a few of these, we're up to 175 and 180 for a regular ETB, which is wild. We're approaching Pokemon Center ETB prices for a lot of the Scarlet and Violet sets at that point. It's yeah. I'm getting overwhelmed, guys. I'm trying to hold it together, but I gotta let some frustration out. 144 for a regular ETB. That's the reality of where we're at. Okay. The eBay side of the regular ETBs, this is a deal. Whoever bought this compared to TCG, 3 regular ETBs for 200. You got a regular ETB for 150 though. You got 4 regular ETBs for 400, so that seems like a really good deal. It's $100 per ETB. You got another one here for 100, 100 and some, 112. Those are seeming like really good deals right now, comparatively, right? Also, yeah, I know my webcam's blocking it. You can't really see because of all this text. This is coming from TikTok, and this is a very interesting situation. They got their hands on Prismatic early, right? This kind of happens every set, feels like. And we don't have the audio here because it's kind of annoying, but they pull the Gold Pikachu in English. Now that looks a lot like the Surging Sparks Pikachu. And we have some reports from this that we need to take with a grain of salt. And some people, I've heard others in my Discord talking about this as well. This person was saying they watched for a while. 1 SIR evolution in 1,000 packs. I also heard there was two SIRs in 1,000 packs. Now, that doesn't seem particularly right for a specialty set. Traditionally, specialty sets have if we go off of 151, Crown Zenith, we'll use 151 as a more recent example. For that set, you're getting about 1 SIR every 30 to 32 packs, roughly. And yeah, but for a specific SIR with this set size, it would be about 1 in 900 for a specific SIR. There was some theorizing going on that these packs were weighable and that these were the light packs. Obviously, we still got a gold Pikachu pull out of here. So that's why I said take this with a grain of salt. This is, you're getting this information secondhand. I did not watch this stream live. and we do not know the integrity of the seller. So I don't know if they were opening the product on screen and taking the packs out. It sounds like they weren't. So there might have been some shadiness going on with that. But it is out there. It is early. So if you want to try to find, and also it was $20 per pack, which makes it even. I'm not saying for sure that it's shadiness happening, but if it was, $20 per pack for essentially bulk. Obviously, one card slipped through, one other SIR or two other SIRs. That's pretty bad. But that's another thing of just this is where this market is going. When there is money in the space, in the Pokemon space, like we have, there will be shady characters. There will be cancellations. There will be lying, cheating, stealing, fighting. That is the reality, and you got to try and stay above board, play by the rules, be better than these people. Okay. Now we're almost to the end. We're almost to the end here. This is another 3-pack with the promo and stickers. It's up 44%, except most recent sales aren't even reflected. We're at $55. We're at $55 for 3 packs on TCG, and that's all they have left. And then it goes up to 62. 62 with 15 shipping, by the way. So you're at like 80, over 80 for 3 packs. So this is the last one that got me down. 3-pack blisters going insane with the most sales happening right here, right at the end, 44% up. I do think that these, as a random side note, as far as a 3-pack blister goes, you get the promo. I like stickers, so I do think that this is kind of cool. I know this isn't about that, but I like stickers. So last thing, we have a little article. This is from PokeBeach. Okay. They're talking about, and this is another one I would take with a grain of salt. And then we'll get into the closing arguments and strategy, how to get the product, and I'll give you a full boost of optimism if you guys made it to the end. This article says your local Pokemon stores are in pain. Despite them, they say the Pokemon Center Company International printed a similar amount of Prismatic as previous holiday sets, which would be Paldean Fates 151, right? Those were what we had recently. They're seeing many local stores have enforced, limit, or even canceled pre-orders. They did a poll saying that the store is receiving less than 10 to 15% of what they requested to buy from distributors. Now, this is something that you guys need to understand. These stores are getting 15 to 20 or 10 to 15 less than what they requested, but they requested more than they've ever requested, right? So that number might be a little bit misleading. That's not to say that the demand's not there. You also have a lot of reports of sports card stores that don't even do Pokemon, but they see how much money's in it right now. And they have distribution access, obviously. They're ordering Pokemon product, right? So there's just too much demand. So I feel like this is a little bit misleading. It's like, yeah, you're going to get 10 to 15% less. That's actually not bad when you're ordering way more than you ever have. So that is a factor in here, right? But they did interview somebody from a store, one of the largest in Maryland, and this is what he touches on. A large part of the issue is that stores who do not normally order Pokemon are requesting to buy the set from distributors, small bookstores, tabletop game stores, other TCG adjacent stores. So there's not enough product to go around at the end of the day to meet the demand. So that is the fact, obviously, because we're seeing these prices. We're seeing it's going to be wild out there in the wild. But this is some of the Blooming Waters madness. We touched on this. Yeah, they're and the 151 mini tins that we saw before. So what is going to happen at the end of the day? This set is going to get scalped to absolute oblivion, especially with all this information coming out. And your best way to combat it, there's a few ways. Call your stores. I'm talking even Target, Walmart's, Costco, GameStop, everywhere. Tell them to enforce a purchase limit. Okay, I've heard of this happening, people calling and having success. You're going to want to ask them when they're going to be released. You're going to want to go early. Week of release, you're going to go early. You're going to try and go. Sometimes Walmart and Target they do not stock the cards. MJ Holdings is a company that stocks the cards. Sometimes they put it out early. Sometimes a few days early. So go to your stores, um, and try to find out what day the cards get stocked. Try to show up early. Okay, if you know for sure, get there hours early. I hate to say that, like that sucks. You're gonna have to go hours early. Then when it comes to the Pokemon Center side, I literally made a video on this. It blew up. We'll reiterate the information if you missed it. On the 17th, January 17th, in the morning, Pokemon Center ETBs will go live again, right? And they're going to be going really quick. But you're looking at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific for the restock time. That is what it was for Surging, and that's what it was for Stellar Crown. That was the exact time. They could change the time. That's just what it was last time. It gives you your best chance. I'd be on early, logged in, ready to go, credit card information at hand, ready to go. That gives you a chance to get the PC ETBs. Most likely, other products should come into stock on that day as well, right? So that is your best approach, your best chance, right? You're gonna have to work for it. The silver lining of this is that holiday sets get printed usually very heavily and very continuously. They also are dropping more prismatic product throughout the year. They have a staggered release. There's more product coming, different products, right, throughout the year. So that is the silver lining, as this will be available with the, once again, with the caveat of we are at the highest demand that we've ever seen for Pokemon by far. This is outpacing COVID because COVID was a very interesting time, but we are moved past that. This is just normal. We're just in normal. We don't have a sickness that is fueling all of this. This is actual demand. And you don't have Logan Paul championing all of this, and big huge influencers promoting Pokemon and getting people back into it, right? So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Sorry I was down at the beginning. It just had me down, and I'm with you guys. I'm with you. Um, it can be depressing if you're new. If you're new, try to stay strong. Okay, it's going to be okay. This product will be available. They're going to print it a lot. Also, just an interesting note off of that. If they're going to print this a lot, like I don't know how much they'd have to print to meet demand, but if this is going to take up say a full reprint window of another set, maybe two sets worth with this demand, what other sets won't get reprinted? Because they also have to print new sets. They have to print Team Rocket. And what if Team Rocket pops off and they need to reprint Team Rocket? What other sets won't get reprinted? So that's something to think about as well. Just a little think on that for a while. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But that's gonna do it for this one, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.